Jairam, hi, good morning. Good to have you on ET now. Jairam, analysts are expecting a big boost for the EMS industry post the Trump win. What's your reading of the potential implications on the industry per se?
Yeah, good morning to you and all the viewers here. Yeah, this is, I think, while the election results were probably a little uncertain, but at the same time, it was clear that if this dispensation comes to power, it will be beneficial for India on an overall basis. Okay, and specifically for EMS and other industries, the growth vectors or growth factors, if you will, are basically import substitution and also geography expansion, and also a little bit of, let's say, distancing from China for the global, let's say, OEMs. So, given all of these facts, and also the fact that this particular government stated objective is to put economy back on track in the US, this will definitely augur well for demand of, let's say, products and services, especially companies who can actually add value to the compared to the other sources of products and services that they get. So I think it's a very positive move, and there is no uncertainty about our demand. I think the business will go as it is. And in addition to that, I think India gets a thumbs up on its geopolitical position also compared to any other dispensation that would have possibly come into power. So from that perspective, the government's resolve to push infrastructure forward, and so it's an overall. Let me put it this way: it's an overall power play that all countries will show now for the next 4 years or so, which will lead to good positive outcome for companies working in the economy, be it infrastructure development, be it defense projects, be it anything. So it's a positive thing for most of the companies in the EMS sector in India.
Good to know, Mr. Sampath. Morning. What about the kind of inquiries from global companies looking to relocate manufacturing to India? Do you think that we can see an increase in inquiries and in partnerships? Do you have any incremental or big ones in the pipeline that you'd like to share with us?
I can't share names, but you're right. There were already probably expectations in the US industrial circles that there would be this kind of an outcome. So many global OEMs are looking seriously at using India as a base for production compared to increasing their exposure to other East Asian countries. Having said that, I think we should also keep in mind that this dispensation is a quite, let's say, US based dispensation. They want US, and their whole plank is make US great again. So from that perspective, unless we do our job properly, we cannot expect too much of support from these chaps. But on the other hand, companies which have a good value proposition, this is the best news that could have happened. That means they would increase their spend on infrastructure. They would support countries which are not seen as a threat to their national security and their dominance in the world market. So I think Indian companies will receive more inquiries from global OEMs. And I think you can see more action in the geography-based. We have acquired companies in the US, so even there we expect some better businesses to come in. So obviously, on nearshoring of business will happen. A lot of manufacturing activity in the US will get a good, let's say, tailwind, and so we are okay with that as long as we are able to add value to customers, global OEMs in the process.
So I'm curious to know, with so many things in the pipeline, Jairam, what is your CapEx guideline now for the next, say, 3 to 5 years? And of course, what is it that you're anticipating in terms of, revenues as well as profitability, much on a longer term?
Yeah, so we maintain our guidance for this year. That's about 3,000 crores of top line for this financial year, with EBITDA maybe exceeding about 15% or so. And we have no reason to believe that the demand will slow down anytime soon. So we think that in the next 5 to 10 years' time, similar growth rates of anywhere between 40 to 60% on an annual basis should happen. And in terms of CapEx, obviously, we have three parts of businesses. There are new projects like semicon assembly and PC board, for which we are just kind of started off on the projects, and then maybe by FY26 end we will start getting revenues. So these revenues will peak for the new projects by about FY30. And that's when we can talk about further capex into these businesses, which we hope that we'll be able to generate internally for at least some portion of the growth. As far as the EMS business is concerned, we think that by the end of this year, we probably will be in a position to add capexes to cater to the growth, which is somewhere around 200 to 50 crores kind of number this year. And next year, again, the capexes will grow at about rate of about, let's say, 50% to cater to the subsequent years' capacities. So I think we can see a good, let's say, a capacity creation in the EMS business in India, and certainly we are looking forward to it, and we are, let's say, going all guns blazing.
Absolutely, and I must say, so is your stock. All through October, the rest of the market is corrected, but yours is one of the few stocks which continues to clock in fresh highs after fresh high. Seems like the market is already pricing all that in.
Yeah, I really can't comment on that, but I think yeah, it's heartening to note that there's good support from customers and there is good support from the investors too. So from that perspective, it's a good thing going. We focus on our business, we focus on our long-term prospects, we focus on sustainability, which is primarily driven by profitability, which can be sustained over long time. So these are the things which keep us busy, and I think I'm sure this US election has done nothing to dampen it. In fact, maybe it has added some little bit of fuel into the activities.
So lastly, before you go, Jairam, just wanted to understand, since you did talk about the semicon business, what do you think is the revenue potential from this once you start off in FY26?
Yeah, the eventual revenue potential we'd like to target on the back of a capex of about 3,300 crores would be about 4,000 crores plus. So obviously there are some conditions for this. Obviously we have to do, let's say, only 25% of our business should be in legacy technologies. The others should be advanced packaging. And we are on our way to get this done. So by FY30, you could expect this business without any additional capex to clock about 4,000 crores of revenues.
All right, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining in. That's the man.